Blood dripped from the man's forearm onto the marble floor. He had walked into Caid Memorial Hospital 30 seconds ago. The gash was deep.
We don't accept walk-ins of your type. Try the free clinic across town.
Please, it's a lab accident. I have insurance. I just need stitches.
We don't care about your insurance. This wing is for premium patients. Go to the free clinic like we said.
Listen to the lady. You're wasting our time. This is a private facility. We have standards.
Daike's eyes dropped to the marble floor. A small puddle of blood was forming near his feet. He turned and walked out. Outside, he leaned against the wall, breathing hard, then pulled out his phone.
Yeah, pull the quarterly funding for Caid Memorial, all of it, effective immediately.
Understood, sir. I'll contact the director.
In the director's suite, Takeda's phone rang. He picked up, and the color drained from his face. Director Takeda burst from his office, suit jacket flying. He pelted down the corridor, nearly knocking over an orderly.
I told you, we don't serve your kind here. Did you forget the way to the free clinic?
I said I'm not leaving. My arm is still bleeding, so I'll wait right here.
Chairman, I apologize on behalf of the entire hospital. Please, don't pull the funding.
Chairman, what is this? Some kind of joke? Director, have you lost your mind?
I need the donor agreement. Get me a printout right now.
This very wing bore his family name, though no one here recognized the man bleeding in front of them.
This won't change anything. We follow strict admission protocol. He still doesn't qualify.
This document determines whether this hospital continues to exist.
Daike held the donor agreement, still bleeding. Reina and Sato exchanged glances, confused. He was the man who kept their lights on, and they had just thrown him into the street.
Clause 14. The donor reserves the right to suspend funding with written notice.
A piece of paper won't change hospital policy. We've been running this place for years.
Funding threats, please? A man in a hoodie doesn't control our budget.
Chairman, I beg you, let's handle this in my office, away from these misunderstandings.
My father built this wing for everyone, not for your premium patients.
Down the hallway, a nurse with pastel mint hair pressed her hand over her mouth. Hannah had heard everything.
Your father? What fairy tale is this? You're no...
Then watch. At midnight, this hospital loses its funding, effective immediately.
The board will crucify me. Please, I'll do anything.
Daike had spoken. Reina and Sato still wore their disbelief like armor. But Director Takeda's face was the truth. The hospital was already falling.
He's Daike, the chairman of the Daike Foundation. He personally controls this hospital's entire funding.
Chairman, this must be a mistake. He looks like a construction worker, not a billionaire.
Ridiculous. Our foundation chair wouldn't walk in here bleeding like a commoner. This is a con.
Daike raised his hand and pointed toward the wall, where a gold donor plaque had hung for over a decade.
That plaque? I've walked past it every day. You're saying that's actually you?
A name on a wall doesn't prove anything. You could have forged that entire agreement.
Daike unfolded a second document, an execution notice already signed by the Foundation's board, stopping all transfers.
At midnight, this hospital loses its funding. My board approved it an hour ago. It's already been filed.
Before anyone could respond, the pastel-haired nurse stepped out of the hallway. Hana moved past the stunned staff.
Excuse me. Your arm is still bleeding heavily. Please, let me at least clean and bandage it.
Stay out of this, Hana. This is a private facility. We don't treat just anyone who walks in.
Policy exists for a reason. We can't set a precedent of treating every man in a hoodie who threatens legal action.
Daike gripped the edge of the counter. The room tilted. His sleeve was now soaked red.
He's about to collapse. Are you all blind? Let me through.
You're just a nurse. This doesn't concern you. Go back to your station.
Chairman, please, I'll personally ensure you get the best care. Just reconsider the funding.
I don't need your care. This hospital chose to abandon its mission.
Please, let me help you. This isn't just about policy, you're still bleeding.
Hana, I said stay out of this. You're on thin ice as it is.
Daiki's world dimmed. The puddle beneath him widened. Hana remained 2 steps away, blocked by Reina's arm. The director mopped his brow in despair.
I'm treating him whether you like it or not. Step aside.
You can't. This is insubordination. Security will handle you.
Daiki's knees buckled. Hana ducked under his arm just before he hit the floor.
I'm a nurse. My duty is to the patient. I won't let him bleed out because of your policies.
You'll get in trouble for this. Don't risk your job for someone you don't know.
Security, get her out of here! She's defying direct orders.
Wait, Reina. Let her take him. Just this once. We can't afford any more damage.
Lean on me. Just a few steps. There's a treatment room down the hall.
Reina's voice trailed behind them, but no one moved to stop the nurse. The lobby staff watched in silence.
This is absurd. When the board hears about this, her career is over.
Hana helped Daiki onto the treatment bed, her hands already reaching for clean gauze. The room smelled of antiseptic.
Hold still. This will sting.
Why? You don't know me. You're risking everything for a stranger.
I've known you for months, Daiki. I've been watching since your father's funeral.
She pulled a worn photograph from her pocket, 2 men smiling, one with Daiki's face, the other her own father.
My father was the previous director. He said the boy at the funeral would save this place one day. He made me promise to watch over you, that you'd understand when the time came.
Your father. He was the one who kept my father's vision alive.
The prophecy hung between them. Daiki stared at the photograph, his resistance cracking.
I can't let this hospital die. Not after everything our fathers built together. The foundation was built so no one would ever be turned away. Your father and mine believed that.
Hana, this hospital is for everyone. No one should suffer because they can't pay. Promise me you'll protect that.
He died the next morning. I've tried to keep his promise, but I'm just a nurse. I couldn't stop what happened.
Then how did Reina and Sato gain so much control? How did it become this place that throws people out?
Director Takeda brought them in for profit years ago. They rewrote admission policies. I had no authority to fight.
Daiki's anger, once a simple blade, now had 2 edges. The hospital wasn't a monolith. It was a battlefield.
My father's dream. It's been rotting from the inside, and I almost killed it entirely without knowing.
Please, think about what your father would want. Punish the guilty. Not the whole place, not the patients who need it.
I need a moment, but I won't let your father's dream end like this. Not like this.
The execution order lay unsigned in his mind. Revenge could wait. The legacy of 2 fathers demanded something else.
Takeda, get in here. I've made my decision.
Chairman, I am at your mercy. Whatever you need, I'll do anything.
The funding stays, but only on one condition. Reina and Dr. Sato are fired, today, and every admission policy gets rewritten.
But Chairman, they have been here for years. The board, I can't just...
Then the funding dies at midnight. Choose.
Before the director could answer, the door burst open. Reina and Sato stormed in, faces red with fury.
You can't do this. I've given my life to this hospital. It's sabotage.
This is blackmail. No board will support destroying careers over one man's bruised ego.
I have the board in my pocket. The only thing standing between you and the street is this moment.
Director Takeda's face turned gray. The room held its breath. No one moved.
Please, I have nothing else. Don't take my job. I'll do anything.
3 months ago, an elderly man was turned away from this hospital. He died of a treatable infection the next day. Your name is on the intake log.
That can't be. We had no idea.
It was protocol. He didn't look like he could pay. We can't run a charity.
I remember that man. He begged for help, and you laughed. I saw it from the hallway.
I have documents on 12 such cases. This hospital is a crime scene, and you are the gatekeeper who decided who lives and who dies.
I only followed orders. The policies were Reina's doing. I had nothing to do with this.
Chairman, I failed. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. I'll resign if I must.
The funding will be restored, but only under a new board and external oversight. And these two will be investigated to the fullest extent.
The room fell silent. Reina's pleas died in her throat. The hospital had been given a chance, but not a pardon.
Takeda, make the call, now. Let the entire staff witness what happens to those who betray this hospital's mission.
Security, to the treatment room. Reina and Dr. Sato are terminated immediately. Escort them from the premises.
You'll regret this. I'll sue. I'll go to the media.
This is ridiculous. I'll be vindicated. Wait until the medical board hears about this.
The security team led them down the main corridor. Nurses and doctors watched in disbelief, some in tears. A crowd gathered in the lobby. Whispers turned to murmurs of the old director and his promise.
This is only the beginning. An independent audit of the entire board begins tomorrow. Anyone complicit in covering up patient deaths will face consequences.
But Chairman, if the board collapses, the hospital will be paralyzed. There must be some leniency.
Leniency is what allowed people to die. This hospital will be rebuilt from the ground up, or it won't exist at all.
The crowd parted as Daiki walked back toward the treatment room. Hannah waited in the doorway. The old hospital was gone. A reckoning had begun.
You shouldn't be walking yet. Let me finish those stitches.
You've already done more than anyone else in this building.
Someone had to. Your father would never forgive me if I let you bleed out.
The needle pulled through skin in quiet rhythm. When she tied the final knot, her fingers lingered.
Thank you, Hannah, for everything.
It's what our fathers would have wanted. Mine always said you'd understand when the time came.
I think I do now. This hospital needs direction, someone who remembers why it was built.
Are you asking me to help run it?
I'll reinstate the funding, but I need someone I trust on the inside. Will you be that person?
Hannah's eyes glistened. Her father's words echoed. She took his hand, and for the first time, the hospital's future felt real. They emerged from the treatment room together. The staff in the lobby looked up, desperate and afraid.
The hospital will not close. Funding resumes, but policies change. No one will ever be turned away again.
Relief broke over the crowd. Some wept openly. A few started clapping.
I'll oversee the new admission protocols. Patient care first. No exceptions.
Director Takeda will oversee the restructuring, but if he fails, he resigns.
Outside, a news crew had arrived. Reina and Sato were pushed into the daylight, cameras snapping.
No cameras. This is a setup. He's destroying my life.
This is retaliatory dismissal. The medical board will reinstate me by week's end.
Daiki and Hana stepped into the sunlight. The hospital staff gathered behind them. One voice started, then another. The lobby filled with cheers. The hospital was no longer a fortress. That evening, Daiki knelt before his father's grave. Fresh flowers from the hospital garden.
Dad, I almost killed your dream, but someone showed me what it really meant.
I thought I might find you here.
She placed her own bouquet beside his. 2 families, 1 promise.
My father used to say, this grave was his anchor. He'd come here to remember why he stayed director.
I never met your father, but after today, I feel like I know him.
He would have been proud of you, for listening, for not letting go of the good.
I'm not going to just fund it from a distance. I want to build something with you by my side.
The rain slowed. They stood in quiet understanding, no longer strangers. A promise not just to the dead, but to each other. The foundation was no longer just money. It was a living breath. The next morning, Hana led Daiki through the old West Wing. Empty wards with faded murals, but the windows still held light.
This wing hasn't been used in years. It was for the patients who couldn't pay. My father kept it open.
Then let's reopen it. Not for profit, but as it was meant to be. A place where no one is left bleeding in the lobby.
You really mean it. After everything, you still want to help them.
It's what he would do. And it's what you've been fighting for alone. Not anymore.
I never thought I'd hear anyone say that. The board never listened. But you're different.
Hannah, I'd like to talk more. Not about the hospital, just us. Would you have coffee with me? After work?
Like a date?
If you'd like it to be. I'd really like it to be.
She nodded, her cheeks warm. The old wing seemed brighter than it had in years. A month passed. The new board was seated, and Hannah was appointed patient advocate. The old admission policies were burned. Hannah stood in a bright children's ward, reading aloud from a storybook. The room was full for the first time in years. The nursing board revoked Reina's license. She now wore a fast food uniform, hairnet hiding her platinum pride. Dr. Sato lost his hospital privileges. In a cramped clinic, he prescribed aspirin and blamed the world for his fall. Daiki and Hannah stood before the updated donor plaque. Dedicated to compassionate, equitable care, it read beneath the family name. The Daiki Foundation's quarterly transfers resumed, now with external oversight. The machines turned on, the medicine arrived.
In the West Wing, the first patient admitted was an elderly woman. She wept when Hannah said, "We'll take care of you."
Every morning, Daiki passed the plaque. He didn't speak. He just touched the new line about equitable care.
You're here again.
The hospital breathed again for everyone, and two fathers watched from somewhere, finally at peace. That Saturday, Daiki and Hannah met at a small coffee shop near the hospital. 2 cups of coffee, no documents, no policies.
I can't believe you used to sneak into the lab after hours just to run extra experiments.
It was the only quiet time, but I swear I never broke anything.
They both laughed. The world was only warm light and shared secrets. When the laughter faded, Daiki looked at her hand resting on the table.
Hannah, after all this, I don't want to go back to just colleagues. I want this. Us.
I've wanted this since the day you walked into the lobby bleeding. I was terrified of losing you before I even had you.
His hand covered hers on the table. She turned her palm up, fingers threading together.
Then let's make it real. Starting now.
Outside, the city carried on. But inside, they were building something else entirely. The official letter lay on Hannah's desk. Nursing director typed across the header. Her hands trembled.
After all these years, Dad, I made it.
Before she could stand, a shadow fell across the letter. Daiki stood there, holding a bouquet of sunflowers.
You deserve this more than anyone. Nursing director suits you.
You knew? And you didn't tell me?
I wanted to see your face when you found out. Worth it.
The other nurses noticed. Someone clapped. Then the whole station erupted in cheers.
Thank you, everyone. I couldn't have done any of this alone.
Daiki leaned close, and for a moment, the world narrowed. He kissed her cheek. The cheers grew louder. There was no hiding it now. The hospital not only had a new director, it had a couple everyone had been rooting for. The hospital flourished. New MRI machines hummed in clean rooms. Families smiled through tears in the waiting area. Reina stood behind a fast food counter, hairnet digging into her forehead, voice flat as she called order numbers. Dr. Sato worked in a dingy clinic, the smell of mold thick. He scribbled prescriptions with no compassion left. On a clear Sunday, Daiki and Hannah returned to the hilltop cemetery. 2 bouquets this time.
We've come a long way since we last stood here.
Our fathers would be smiling. The new wing opened yesterday. Patients who were turned away before. They're here now.
They knelt together, placing the flowers. Daiki's hand found hers and they stayed there, silent, reunited. The children's ward echoed with laughter again. Hannah's old room had become a story corner. Reina watched a news segment on the hospital's success while scrubbing a deep fryer. Her eyes were hollow. The cycle had turned. Daiki and Hannah walked back down the hill, hands laced, toward a city that felt kinder. The following week, Daiki asked Hana to meet him in the lobby. The gold donor plaque reflected the afternoon light.
This is where I almost ended everything. Instead, I found you.
Daiki, what's going on? You're making me nervous.
He took her hand and knelt. The ring was simple, a stone the color of her pastel hair.
Hana, will you marry me?
Yes, yes, 1,000 times.
He slid the ring onto her finger. Behind them, a small crowd had formed, nurses holding their breath. The lobby erupted. Colleagues cheered, clapping. Even Director Takeda wiped his eyes, nodding.
At last, my blessings to you both. This hospital is truly a family.
Under the plaque that bore his name, Daiki held Hana. Two fathers' dreams had finally become their own promise. The chapel was small, filled with nurses and doctors who had become family. Sunlight streamed through stained glass.
By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
I promise to protect this hospital's mission and to protect you for the rest of my life.
And I promise to stand beside you always, no matter who walks through our doors.
They exchanged rings. The small gathering applauded, voices echoing like a heartbeat. Hana reached into her pocket and placed an old watch into Daiki's palm, his father's watch.
Your father would want you to have it today. I had it restored.
On the altar, a framed photo of Hana's father stood beside Daiki's, both smiling, both watching. Daiki put on the watch and drew Hana close. The past and the future held each other. A small wedding, but a whole world had changed. Two families, now one, beneath the same dream. Years later, Daiki, Hana, and their son climbed the hill to the grave. The sun was low and golden. The boy placed a tiny wooden car beside the fresh flowers, guided by his mother's hand. Daiki touched the headstone, his father's watch glinting in the last rays of sun. Hana knelt, whispering the names of two grandfathers who never met, but whose dream built this family. The child pointed toward the hospital visible on the horizon, its windows beginning to glow. Hand in hand, they walked down the path, three silhouettes framed by the sunset. The hospital's lights flickered on, a heartbeat against the darkening sky, a place where no one was ever turned away again. Daiki paused, looking back. Hana squeezed his hand, and they continued into the new night. The sunset wrapped them in amber, and the hospital hummed below, a sanctuary reborn. And the world kept turning, more gently now because of the boy who once bled on a marble floor.